Hello, this is Joseph with Trans Logistics.
I started at Roadway Express in 1988, and my position was a dock records clerk. And that position no longer exists. Technology has replaced that. And I had to go to each trailer to make sure it wasn't overweight. I also had to look to make sure that all the shipments on that trailer were going to the right place.
When he came into Roadway, he had 300 accounts turned over to him. But the sales rep before Scott only wined and dined 3 accounts. And Scott looked at this as an opportunity to help these other smaller accounts. He developed a relationship with them, and he had a solid foundation. It was because he called on everybody and treated them all as equally important.
It wasn't Roadway that had me decide to have my own business, but it was Roadway and the transportation industry that helped me decide this is the business I want to have and this is the industry I want to be in. I always wanted to have my own business ever since I was little.
He used to take his brothers and sisters' discarded toys and ask if he could sell them, and he would go door to door with a little red wagon and sell them to the neighbors.
You know, when I first started, we didn't have a fax machine. I had my mom's computer and a beeper.
I remember we prayed about it for a long time and about starting a business, and we had started to plan our finances and get prepared.
Part of the agreement was, though, that I was going to try it, and if it didn't work, then I was going to go get a job somewhere and be committed to whoever I was working for. But fortunately, Trans Logistics did work.
And they had this little office building that they rented in the Byrne Building in Phoenixville. And they had one shared receptionist, and her name was Linda. She would answer the phone with the company's name, and then she would page them if they had an urgent message.
I was fortunate enough that she also knew transportation, so she was able to at least ask the right questions, and then she would beef me when I was out there making sales calls. I'd go to a payphone and I'd call to find out what was going on, and then I'd call the customer by the payphone.
I do remember going on sales calls. I remember too him sitting me in a chair and letting me play video games or helping clean the office.
He would give us a penny for every staple we'd pick up, so we'd run around the office as little kids and pull staples out of the carpet, and that was always fun. We enjoyed doing that.
He had this one sales rep that would always bring in danishes into the office, so me and my brother used to always love the trips to the office.
Wendy put a lot of time and effort into having the home daycare. It was several kids along with our kids.
It didn't seem as much of a sacrifice as it did a combined effort between the two of us.
I think she probably had it tougher than I did at the beginning there. I've grown personally in looking at people in Trans Logistics as we're all in this together, and the work that they do is phenomenal, and the expectations they have of themselves is higher than anything I could expect from them. And so I concentrate now more on supporting people versus feeling like I have to have a whip to get them to move.
Well, it's grown obviously, and there's a lot more faces in the company. It's also grown with the same values, I think, though, that my dad tried to start it with, of integrity, trust, loyalty. So it's stayed the same in a few ways as well.
Of course, customer service gets a lot of compliments because they're dealing with our customers day in and day out.
Before I start, since I am talking to the president of the company, I better put my tie on for you. I need to be formal. I started with this company back in 2005, and coming from a place where there was 2,000 employees, I was just a number. And I was amazed that after I started here, to find out that I do have a name and it's being used on a daily basis.
One of our customers says Bob Fry. You know, Bob Fry is the guy for me. Everywhere I go, I hear Bob Fry, Bob Fry.
It also helps having the great co-workers that I have, and I have the best customers. All the customers here are absolutely wonderful.
It's a lot of fun in IT because if anybody has a question about Viewpoint, or if they're stuck somewhere, they're not sure what to do, then we can have Ben dial right into their computer and show them exactly what needs to be done or how they can do it. And there's always comments of, well, now that you're in, can you just do the rest of the work for me?
Viewpoint just makes it so much easier to help them. There's so much less issues, and the only thing ever I really have to do is reset passwords for them, so it's definitely nice for me.
We have some pretty interesting problems we run into all the time. They all have great ideas to contribute on a daily basis. All the guys in my group are really creative in the ways they come up with finding solutions.
And then our logistics services department with the negotiations with the carriers and putting together different kinds of spreadsheets and reports to be able to give that visibility and more data.
It's a great place to work. It's a lot of fun people. The culture's good. I never not look forward to waking up on Monday morning and coming to work like I have in the past.
We're all growing and we're becoming more and more of that consultant than we are of just, here's a low freight rate. I'm finding out more and more in presentations and observing other competitors that the things that we provide, especially our transportation management system, just isn't comparable anywhere.
Translogistics goes the extra mile, whether you're talking about tracking somebody's shipment or processing somebody's invoice, to the system that we surround that whole process with.
I think Viewpoint is amazing. I think it was a dream at one point in time that's become a reality.
He wants to be the best. He wants to be professional. He wants to be, ahead of everyone else, not from a competitive standpoint, just to say we're better, but to say that we're the best.
And carriers now are looking at it and they're really impressed with it, and they're saying, boy, there's more to Translogistics than just beating us up for rates.
It's crazy how far we've come and how easy we're making things for the customers.
I think it's a unique service offering. Something completely different than other 3PLs.
They've invested quite a bit into our software and in our sales force, and I think those are two areas that are going to cause us the growth that we need.
But it's not just the software, it's what goes into that software, and that data has to be timely and accurate. And the way that's timely and accurate is through the people that we have here and by the hard work that they're doing. So it's a combination of both.
My dad has a great work ethic. I remember waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning growing up, and I'd see him on his computer or doing devotions that early in the morning. So I was always very impressed with his work ethic behind the scenes, not just at the office.
He's very self-disciplined. He gets up between 4:30 and 5 in the morning, and he's done that since we were newlyweds. He's always gotten up early.
It is very humbling to be at a place where you are cared for and people care for each other.
Scott strikes a nice balance of being loving, approachable. He really does care for all the people here at the company. He wants the best for everybody.
I think he exemplifies the TLI, the trust, loyalty, and integrity.
When you run a business, you've got to be able to make business decisions, and sometimes that means making tough calls, and sometimes that means saying things people don't want to hear. But I think true weakness would be if you weren't willing to make those statements, you weren't willing to make those calls.
From what I've seen over the last 2 years, he always does the right thing, even if it costs the company some money to make things right.
I really appreciate the entrepreneurs embracing risk, and he has a stomach for risk, and it lets him take leaps that most people wouldn't take, and in doing it he does a great job.
He loves to have fun and he likes to be busy. Every vacation we have, I'm so tired at the end of our vacation because he plans the vacations out in great detail and organizes them.
Without the employees, we wouldn't be able to succeed at the point of where we have. So I'm thankful for every one of them. I'm very thankful to my mother and my father for always giving me that sense of confidence and teach me to be independent, for encouraging my strengths. Also my brothers and sisters. I'm the 9th of 11, so I kind of tease people saying I've learned from my older brothers and sisters' mistakes. For Wendy, without her support and encouragement and having somebody that can come home and talk things over with. Scotty and Ben are in the industry now, or in the business now, and they're doing a fantastic job. For Kaylee and Jack and Colin as well for their support. I'm thankful for all of them because without any of them, Translogistics wouldn't be where it's at.
I'd like to thank Scott for creating this company, creating the culture that he has at the company, providing a great place for myself to work and everybody else here. I'd like to congratulate him for 20 years in business, and I'd like to wish him many more years of success.
Congratulations, Scott. You've been wonderful to work for. I admire and respect you.
I'd like to say that he is a great role model, and he's a great president of the company, and I really do appreciate him a lot.
I'm proud of you, proud to call you my brother-in-law, proud to be working for you, and I'm proud of this company.
Thank you for everything. and that's from the bottom of my heart. Love Translogistics, and again, happy anniversary and congratulations.
My proudest moment is going to be during our anniversary celebration, and I can just sit there and I can look and see the people that are there, and seeing customers that have recently started with us, seeing customers that have been with us since day one, seeing people that put their trust in me and put their trust in the other people that are here, seeing the employees and seeing their spouses and knowing that Translogistics has had an influence on their lives. And to me, success is by people telling me that they're better off as a person being at Translogistics, or even customers or carriers having been a part of Translogistics or known us, they're better off than they were before they met with us. And if Translogistics can continue to have a positive influence on people for the next 20 years, then there's nothing else I could ask for.